We saw this week a flood of announcements from Instacart. Retailers
Yeah,
from
we did.
Kohl's in Australia to small regional grocers like Bowman's Market and Queen's Price Chopper are reportedly rolling out its Caper Cart. But the announcement I particularly want to key in on today has to do with its carrot tags. According to an Instacart
Mm.
press release, Aldi, Gelson's, and Hornbachers are now leveraging Instacart's carrot tags. And for those keeping score at home, or for those who may be listening to OmniTalk for the first time, Carrot Tags is the name of Instacart's software solution that seamlessly integrates into a retailer's electronic shelf labels or ESL hardware to enable incremental functionality, including pick to light capabilities. Chris, I have to know, what do you make
Yes.
of this bevy of announcements from Instacart this week?
Yes, and I think I would call it a deluge. It's a deluge of announcements
Okay,
overall.
Donagles and Deluge, the theme of the
Donahue's and
show.
deluge. Yes, great alliteration too, Ann. Well, whenever I see a deluge of announcements like this, I'm always a little skeptical, right, Ann? Because you have to ask yourself, like, why so many? Like, why is Instacart trying to position itself in this manner? That's the question that came to my head first and foremost. And to that question, I honestly have no idea, but something is likely driving it, and I think it's a good question to ask. Now, to the two announcements in question, smart carts and carrot tags. I think,
Mm-hmm.
first of all, there's no surprise coming out of grocery shop 1 month ago to see the interest in the smart cart.
Right.
And these implementations still seem very small scale because I couldn't find anything, but I couldn't find any references to the store counts that are, piloting these smart carts, which is
Right.
typical of the Caper Cart announcements if you look back in history. But now the carrot tags, and this one I think is really interesting. On the one hand, I love that you're seeing more grocers find value in electronic shelf labels, but I do take some umbrage with what Instacart is calling their API call to that tag as a carrot tag because it's not a tag. So in a
Yes.
way, it's not. It's just a software that works with the tag. So in a way,
Yes.
it feels like Instacart is trying to take credit for ESL expansions across the
Oh
industry,
my
when
God.
in
Yes.
reality, it's just providing the software for those that want to use their software to coordinate picking with their ESLs. So maybe a small nitpick, and maybe, but I think calling something a tag when it really isn't a tag is a little bit misleading. And that's the point.
Yes.
You think the same
Yeah.
thing. I think when you read the headline of the press release, new grocers adopting Instacart's carrot tags, that if you're not really, skilled or fluent in how this stuff works, that's what you're going to think. So that's why I don't
Yes.
like it. I think I got to call it out.
Yeah, I totally agree. When I read this headline, I was like, these ESLs, in the majority of cases, one of the main reasons that grocers are adopting them is because they come equipped with pick to light functionality. Like, that's the selling point, and you don't want to be limited for that pick to light just for Instacart shoppers or just for, your consumers in store. Like, it's got to be available to everybody. So yes, Instacart, you are tying into that. And if I'm an Instacart shopper using a Caper Cart walking through, or I'm a consumer using a Caper Cart walking through, like, yes, they're talking to each other. That's great. However, that's not the only way to shop this. And I totally agree. I was like, this is a lot of news coming out of Instacart taking credit for a lot of things that I'm not quite sure that they should, I don't know, that they should be owning. But it does show that more grocers are getting on board with Instacart, and that's the thing. Regardless of what the arrangement looks like, Chris, I think
Yes.
that's the key
Yes.
thing to point out
Yes.
here. That became very apparent to me for sure during grocery shop, and I think you too. Is like how much grocers are relying on Instacart and the potential that Instacart has to further penetrate grocery in ways that I have to admit I didn't think grocers would be all in onto this level. But yes, the carrot
Yeah.
tags, let's go easy there,
Yeah.
Tiger.
I mean, I think it just needs a rebrand, honestly. Like, if you're gonna keep doing this, you got to rebrand. You can't call it a tag. Like, even the release says like Schnucks has our carrot tags. They don't have your tags. They use your API call. Like, that's just a
Yeah.
different thing. So I don't know. Maybe they'll rebrand it. Maybe they'll listen to our show and they'll be like, yeah, Chris and Ann, they know what they're talking about. We should
I
change
mean,
their name
don't
so
you don't
we're
you
not as
question
deceptive.
don't you question though? Like, I wonder as an Instacart like salesperson, like, are you even going in there and can you go into a grocer and are you leading with like carrot tags?
Do
I
you want
just
our
have a
carrot
hard time.
tags or do you want our
Yes.
pick to light functionality? Right. I know, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I
A
just have a
hundred
hard
percent.
time.
A
I have a hard
hundred
time
percent.
believing that.